What's up everyone, Pizzas here, and welcome to the Sweet Sound Sunday. What is a Sweet Sound Sunday? It's a sound design session basically that I post on Sundays, and in today's episode, we're going to be using Drift to create like a really dark and powerful lightsaber pad. It will sound kind of like a lightsaber, but it will be more musical that you can use in any other type of music or sound. And of course, at the end, you'll be able to download it for free, the one that I just did in this video. Now, without further ado, let's not waste any more time and let's just go to the Ableton. Okay, so we're in Ableton and we need to find the Drift. So it is here in Instruments. You see Drift. You can, of course, right click and add it to your favorites, and it will always be here in your favorites. Okay, so let's drag it onto a new track and let's start designing. First, my keyboard's in like a nominal octave. Let's go octave down. Okay, perfect. It's going to be a pad. So let's start with the envelope. So first, attack has to be a little bit longer. Let's say like 5 seconds, something 4.5 seconds. Lower the sustain, make the decay longer, around like 4 seconds. Again, release a little bit shorter, 3 seconds. Okay, but the sound is ugly. Let's do something about it. Let's change it here first. So the first oscillator, we will have this kind of pulse signal, which is kind of very soft. But the second oscillator, we will actually have the sawtooth wave on -1 octave, which is important. So first things first, go down an octave on your keyboard and then go down an octave on the second oscillator. Okay. That sounds nice already. Let's change some values. Let's add a little bit more drive to the filter by pushing these oscillators 1 and 2 up a little bit. Okay, cool. Now let's design a filter quickly. So let's go to around like 1.2 kilohertz. So we're muffling some of the high frequencies. Let's add a little bit of the resonance and a little bit of the high pass as well. So we're getting rid of some of the low-end content. Okay, that's a low C. I think it's a C2 note. Now then, what else can we do? We can add a little bit of the key tracking, so the higher keys we will press, it's gonna change the filter a little bit. Okay, now what we want to do is that we want to add a little bit of the LFO to the shape of the waveform. So LFO will be really slow, like 0.4 hertz, that's fine. And then we will also need to assign it. So let's assign it here. So LFO, let's add like, let's say 3% will be fine. It's very subtle, but it is there. Now we want to change the modifications a little bit, so we are adding proper things to proper things. So let's go to this one. We will not need that one at all. So let's use envelope 1, so the same envelope that is for amplitude, and let's assign it to a frequency of the filter. So high pass frequency as it is. Let's go down like just a little bit. So we'll still influence the frequency of the filter. Second envelope can be modulating the LFO rate, but just like not too much. But we haven't designed the envelope 2 yet. Let's do this now. Let's add like 30%, say, and envelope number 2 will be a cycling envelope. We will tilt it a little bit, and we will make it very, very slow, like that. And well, that's it. It will change the rate of the LFO slightly. That will in the effect modulate the shape, and then do we need an LFO somewhere else? We will add it actually to the filter as well. So let's add it here. So it will still make the sound kind of wobbly and floating around. Let's play some lower notes. Okay, now we see where we're going. Now let's change the mode from poly to stereo. Makes it a bit nicer. Let's add a little bit of the stereo width. Okay. Now let's add more drift. Okay, we have this wave in the background, like a chorus kind of sound. Okay, perfect. And that's basically it. In terms of the drift, we will add another layer in just a moment, but let's leave it like that at the moment. We will now need two effects, literally two effects that everyone has. It's in the Ableton Live intro version as well. So first one will be Saturator. We can find it in Audio Effects, we can find it in Drive and Color, Saturator, or you can just search for it using Command or Control F and just type Saturator. There it is. Let's drop it after the drift. Let's change the clipping to medium curve. Let's add a little bit of a drive, not too much, like 5 decibels will be quite enough. Let's add soft clipping and let's listen to it now. Okay, it got a little bit more aggressive. Very nice, very nice. Now that's it in terms of the saturator. Let's add some reverb at the end. We can also do the same, just search for it, or we can find it in Audio Effects, Reverb and Resonance, and there it is, reverb as well. Everybody has it in their Ableton. So let's see what we can do. We can add a little bit of the low cut, we can turn off the high cut, and then we can also leave basically most of the things as they are. Let's make the decay a little bit longer. Let's add a little bit of the size, like so. Pre-delay can be a little bit bigger. Let's listen to how it sounds like now. Let's add some diffuse. Let's add a little bit more of the reflections. A bit more wet. Yep, that's mostly done. That was really quick. But let's add some low-end content because we really want it to be really strong and powerful and like Dark Side of the Force way. Okay, so let's group them all together. So let's group this chain together. Let's click on the first one, go to the last effect, click it with Shift and Control or Command G to group. Now we can name it. So let's name it Dark Saber Pad. Okay. But now we want this another chain, so let's add another chain here, create a new chain. This one will not be empty. We will add our drift from our favorites or whatever you have it. Let's add it here, and then let's just turn off the oscillator number 2. Let's just keep this oscillator number 1. I know I'm probably doing this the all the way around, but let's keep it on the oscillator number 1 because this one has a little bit more of the flexibility in terms of the shape, which oscillator number 2 doesn't. Okay, now let's leave it on -1 octave, just a sine wave. Let's design the envelope quickly. Let's make it a little bit longer. It doesn't have to be that long as the previous one. Make a little bit longer release, a little bit longer decay. They don't have to align perfectly. Let's cut down the frequency and let's listen to just the second one. Isn't that too low? Let's check on this octave first. Let's see how it goes. Now listen to both of them together. And we can control how much of the low frequencies and like the sub oscillator do we need on this chain. Let's name them properly. That's a main saber. And let's call this one Dark Force. Of course, you'll be able to download this patch from my website. I'll link it below after the video. So let's do some quick macros. So basically the first very important macro will be how much of the low end do we need. So let's map this here. Let's change it so we don't need 6 decibels. We need like, maybe let's go to +2 decibels, but from -10. Okay, let's listen to it now. Okay, then we can actually do this as well. Let's map this knob to this. Let's go from -infinity to like 0 decibels. That's fine. And this one will be called sub square, and this one will be just sub. And if we add this one, we will have even more sub frequencies. Add to your taste. And just let's do a little tiny tweaks here. So let's go to the first oscillator, first layer, and then let's change a little bit. Let's add a little bit of the detune here, so they're kind of floating around a little bit nicely. And let's go to the second one, and let's change the mode to monophonic, because we only need one low frequency. We don't want to stack them together because they will not sound really cool. We will have loads of like the mud and basically too much low content. And if we change it now, we will then have only one of the dark force or the sub oscillator playing. And we can also add a little bit more of the sub frequency if you really want to go that hard. That's it, that's the pod done. Basically, you can play with some preferences and some parameters, and you can add them to the macros if you like. I'll leave it like that for now, and that's basically it. Let's save it. Darksaber pad, click this little diskette icon, save it, add it to your favorites if you like. Let's add it to the favorites, and that's the sound done. Okay guys, so what did you think about it? I think it was really cool just to make it with literally two drifts, 3 oscillators in total, and 2 effects. Very simple, very clean, and really dark. I like these dark textures, as you can probably tell from my previous videos. And of course, as I mentioned, you can download this pad in the description box down below. Just follow the link, and that will take you to my website where you can for free download it today. Install it, all the instructions are there. Now let me know in the comments down below, where would you use that kind of pad? What kind of music would you make with it? Also, one important thing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and if you want to know how the drift synthesizer works, and if you want to learn it like from the beginning till the end to do everything in it, just make sure to watch this video next. And that's it from me for today. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys next video. Cheers!